Welcome to Gorilla Sports Off Court, a post-game live reaction show following a Nuggets dub in Game 5 versus the Clippers. I'm your host, Liv Moods, and this is presented by Trusted American Mortgage. Trusted American salary-based mortgage consultants want to help you get into a better interest rate and lower your monthly payments. So head to trustedamerican.com to see how they can help you save some money today.
Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome in, everybody, to another Gorilla Sports Off Court, a post-game live reaction show following Game 5, Clippers, Nuggets. This series is cinematic. This is must-watch basketball. It's exactly what you expect out of a 4-5 series. Close games down to the wire. Thankfully, the Nuggets able to pull ahead quite a bit in this one and win comfortably. I will say, as I was driving to the studio, that score was getting a little too close for comfort. We know that the Denver Nuggets have a very bad habit of doing that, but nonetheless, they got to win a pretty dominating one, I believe, 16-point win for this Denver Nuggets team. So I'm going to go ahead and take that as their get back from Game 3. We're trying to pretend that Game 3 didn't happen, but it ultimately did. Outside of that, Games 1, 2, and 4 have been close, down to the wire. The first game went into overtime. Like I said, this is exactly what you want to see out of a 4-5 series in the playoffs. This is playoffs basketball. And speaking of playoff basketball, this is Jamal Murray, folks. I said it on my show yesterday, on my off-court show, that I sensed a big Jamal Murray game tonight, and that's exactly what we got. I actually took it a step further, and I went ahead and placed some bets on Jamal Murray. I took him 4+ threes tonight and 25+ points. Little did I know I could have taken him for a 40-piece and 7 threes to make it even better, but I was still feeling pretty good about that. I think I grabbed 4+ threes at +360, and then him to have 25+ was, I don't know, like it was plus money odds for both. And then I put $100 on the Nuggets to win outright tonight at +116 odds. So I made some money. I'm feeling good. But more than that, the Nuggets got a dub. And on Monday, on my off-court show, I made it very clear that this was a must-win game for the Denver Nuggets. I felt that either way you looked at it. But strictly speaking, as a Nuggets fan, this truly felt like a must-win because I think Nuggets fans across the world, the Nuggets fans that have been watching all season long, know that there's kind of some trust issues that we have with this team, and rightfully so. Doesn't mean we love them any less. Doesn't mean that we don't believe in them, but we just don't trust that in a do-or-die spot back against the wall, having to go back to Los Angeles had the Clippers won tonight. I wasn't feeling super confident in what they'd be able to do, just given how streaky their season has been. But they won tonight in a very big way. And you got to see a lot from the supporting cast around Nikola Jokić, so much so that you didn't need to see a whole lot from Nikola Jokić. Of course, he's still facilitating. He's got the ball in his hands the majority of the game. He's still making big time plays, of course. But you didn't need him to be the superhero because other people stepped up to the plate, and you love to see that. Jokić tonight, only 13 points, 13, 10, and 12, of course, still got a triple-double like it's nothing. But then you got a lot of help. A lot of help, meaning he was the leading scorer and was absolutely dominating offensively in this game from Jamal Murray, 43, 5, and 7. He actually had 8 threes. Pardon my French. I misspoke there. 8 of 14 from the three-point line. I said yesterday we had not yet seen the Jamal Murray heroics that we know he can turn on in the playoffs just yet. And you could argue in a lot of ways we haven't had to. Of course, you'd love to see that in Game 3, which was not a great one, or in Game 2, which resulted in a loss for Denver. You'd love to see him step up in those final moments. But overall, he's played pretty decent basketball. I'm not saying he hasn't played great, but you've been waiting to see this. You've been waiting to see the 40-piece. You've been waiting to see him light it up from the three-point line, and that's exactly what you got from him tonight. And look at the results. I mean, the proof is in the pudding here, folks. You also got a little bit more out of Michael Porter Jr. as this game progressed. I was feeling a little nervous. I think going into halftime, he had only 8. And, I understand dealing with a shoulder injury. He also fell on his shoulder pretty hard in this game, so that worried me a little bit. But, understandably, this is a business. If you're injured enough to only score 8 points or 3 points or whatever it has been for Michael Porter Jr., you probably shouldn't play, but he did find a little bit of groove, and that was really exciting to see. So 14 points he ended with. He had 3 3-point shots. So when you see guys like Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray step up, You already know you're in a better position to get a dub. But more importantly, when your bench can give you 23 points, 21 of those points coming from Russell Westbrook. Now, here's where I drop the stat lines because I don't really care about them in this moment. Who I'm speaking to are the morons that love, and I mean love. They wait. They sit at their phone. They hover their thumb over their creepy little thumbs over their keypad, waiting for the moment that Russell Westbrook makes a mistake so that they can blast it all over X. You are pretty stinking quiet tonight. I'm not seeing you much on my timeline. Actually, let me just refresh. Maybe my eyes were deceiving me. Maybe these fake glasses I'm wearing were deceiving me, and you guys are actually giving Russell Westbrook credit for what he did tonight. Oh, as I guessed it, you're silent. Probably crying in the corner like a bunch of little sissies because you know as much as I do that Russell Westbrook hasn't always been the problem. You understand? Let's get that clear. Let's get that through your thick skull. Los Angeles just didn't know what to do with Russell Westbrook. Let's get that through your head, okay? When you know how to utilize Russell Westbrook, and you also have the understanding that with the good comes some bad, of course, he turned over the ball tonight. He had some missed shots. Who doesn't? But I want to know why we spend more time talking about that with such a loud volume, and we don't talk about a Michael Porter Jr. three-point game. You know why we don't talk about it? Because it happens in this league. It's normal for players to have off nights. But what's not normal is sitting in a dark corner in your room, finding every opportunity to flame a 17-year vet who is an MVP, who has been to multiple All-Stars, and is still playing the game at such a high level. That's what we don't do. That's what's weird. What's not weird is these professional athletes having bad nights. What's really weird is when you triple down on bad nights and say nothing about good nights. You're a weirdo. Just face the facts. It would be a whole lot easier if you just acknowledged that the only weirdo here is you. Yeah? Okay, great. Glad we're on the same page there. In just 9 minutes of basketball, Russell Westbrook came off the bench and gave you 16 points tonight. If I'm not mistaken, this is a playoff game. I, quite frankly, I know he was injured. We were missing him. Thank God he's back. But I, quite frankly, am waiting for that playoff basketball you guys were referring to so many different times in the regular season, saying, just wait, playoff Russ, just wait. I've been waiting. Let me know when I can stop waiting. Matter of fact, I'm getting very impatient. Where is this version of Russell Westbrook you were so confident we were going to see? Please, I need to know. I am waiting to hear what you have to say tonight after watching what Russell Westbrook was able to do fresh off of an injury. And that's what people love to say. Russ is going to be Russ. What does that mean exactly? What does Russ being Russ look like tonight? Russ being Russ looks a whole lot like him scoring more points than Kawhi effing Leonard. I don't hear you talking about that. I don't hear you saying a word about it, actually. You are weirdos. It is so beyond me how weird you guys behave when Russ has a bad game versus when he has a good one. I see nothing in my mentions tonight. I'm really hoping that maybe my computer is just glitching right now and they're waiting to pop up, but of course they're not going to pop up. Be so for real, Olivia. These people have nothing to say. Their tails are tucked and they're crying in a corner somewhere with the lights shut off. Keep crying. Boo-hoo for you. I don't really care. Russell Westbrook did exactly what the Nuggets brought him to Denver to do tonight. And that's come off the bench, bring some energy, keep the pace alive, and score some buckets every now and again. What do you know it? He outscored Kawhi Leonard. Why don't you get on your Twitter with your creepy little thumbs hovering over that keypad and start tweeting about that? Bet you won't. Bet you won't. Of course you won't. You're weak. Of course you won't say a word about it. You won't talk about his 21-point performance and how he scored more points than Kawhi Leonard tonight. I won't see a word about it. Of course I won't. That's not what weak people don't do that. No, weak people will wait until next game when he airballs a three or he misses free throws or he has more turnovers than rebounds, assists, or points. That's what you're going to do. You're going to wait and stay quiet because you don't like to be wrong. Really is what it boils down to. You don't like to be wrong. You don't like to admit when you're wrong, and you don't like to give credit to a legend. It just doesn't make any sense to me. If you were in a room with Russell Westbrook, I highly doubt you'd be saying half the things you say in my mentions. So just remember that. And just remember that he did exactly what he was brought to Denver to do tonight. So I'd love to see a little appreciation to Russell Westbrook for what he brought tonight, because quite frankly, had he not been in this game, I'm not sure the game would have looked the way it did. I'm not sure the Nuggets would have won. They won by 16. Russell Westbrook gave you 21. He was damn near the second leading scorer on this Nuggets team. He scored more points than Nikola Jokić. Talk about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Playoff Russ. I love to see it. And I love to see you squirm, trolls. Come crawling out of your holes. Go ahead, trolls. It's all right. I won't bite. I might punch, but I won't bite. Come on out of your freaking hole and make a tweet and celebrate Russell Westbrook tonight. Why don't you do that for me? Also, on another note, we have Russell Westbrook t-shirts here at Gorilla Sports, and you can get one tonight if you go to my page and you retweet the tweet that I posted with the picture of the t-shirt that we have, and you also are following Gorilla Sports Off Court as well as Gorilla Sports on X, you will have an opportunity to get a Russ shirt, and it says, "Get Russ a ring." Of course. So if you guys want to get a t-shirt, make sure you retweet that tweet, follow Gorilla Sports, and follow Gorilla Sports Off Court as well. And then, of course, you have to be here on this live stream hanging out with me. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you followed the steps, and don't be a liar, pants on fire, because I will have my producer Thomas be checking. Don't be a liar. I don't like liars, but get in the chat. Let me know that you've retweeted, you followed, and you want to be involved in the giveaway. Once you've done all those steps, drop in the chat the word giveaway, and you are in contention for a Get Russ a Ring t-shirt. Yes. Okay. Had to say that at the top of the show. And I'll give another reminder throughout the show. And by the end of the show, we will pick a giveaway winner to get a Get Russ a Ring shirt. Cool. Okay. Moving on. I feel better now. I just had to get that off my chest. Really. I had to, because I just knew the trolls would be crawling out of their holes to just have a little moment. And I was not about to let them have a moment without me first reminding them who they are. Trolls. Nothing but a bunch of trolls. Now that I've reprimanded you and slapped you on the wrist, go crawl back in your hole. You have no place here. Okay. Nuggets got the dub. How fantastic. This truly did feel like a must-win game for Denver for many reasons. One, I already mentioned at the top of the show, the trust that we maybe are lacking with this team as fans, right? We have not seen them work, and some of it's out of their control. We haven't really seen a healthy starting five many times this season. So we're going off of the little bits and pieces of greatness that we've seen from them, but that's simply not enough, especially when you're going against one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. If you look at the month of March and April for this Clippers team, they are one of, if not the hottest team in the NBA. So of course it's nerve-wracking knowing that they're going back to Los Angeles in just a few days to play another game. And you know that a Kawhi Leonard and a James Harden has been in this position before. They have been with a back against the wall. Shout out Greg for entering the giveaway. Woo, woo, woo. All right, Greg, you're in first place right now because I haven't seen any other giveaways in the chat. So Greg, I've got my eyes on you. This was a really, really great win for Denver, a must win in so many ways, because you know what Kawhi Leonard and James Harden are capable of doing. You know that they're going to go back home and they're going to find a way. What's up, High Wisdom? They're going to find a way to refine what didn't work tonight. We've seen them adapt throughout this series. Both teams have done a very great job of that. And you do expect that from the Clippers in Game 6. I also have to say, I did say Nuggets in 6, and there were a lot of, whatevers out there. I'll try my best to avoid the name calling tonight, but no promises. There were a lot of whatevers out there that were like, Nuggets in 6, the Clippers are going to, wax these guys, whatever. Okay, yeah. This series has been exceptionally competitive, and there is still a very large chance that the Clippers turn things around and end up winning this series. But the Nuggets are sitting in a pretty good spot, having won Game 5. And you look at all of this, I'm more thinking future, right? If the Nuggets can get through this series and then advance to go face on OKC, I have no doubt in my mind that Nikola Jokić will be cooking against the Thunder. We haven't really seen him do a lot of cooking in this series. One, he hasn't really had to, but two, we know that historically Zubac does a pretty good job of containing Nikola Jokić. We got to give credit where it's due. We haven't really seen Nikola Jokić do Nikola Jokić things in this series. He has. I know. I'm not saying that take all of that with a grain of salt because we're still talking about Nikola Jokić, right? On a Nikola Jokić like average night, he's still far above average compared to everybody else in the league. I'm just saying you haven't seen what you know you're capable of seeing out of Nikola Jokić yet. And what kind of makes me feel good about that is while OKC is going to have a rest advantage, let's say it's the Nuggets. I'm not jinxing, knocked on wood. I'm not jinxing anything, but let's speak in future terms. If you do see this Nuggets team advance and you do get Jokić against this Thunder team, he will be relatively rested because he hasn't had to do everything in this series. And that's a pretty good feeling. You're seeing this Nuggets team get wins against a really competitive and super talented Clippers team. And Jokić isn't doing the absolute most, but you know he's capable of that still. So that's got to be a good feeling to Nuggets fans everywhere that we're not even seeing the best basketball out of Jokić right now. We're just not. And if you add that to the mix, I think what you're going to get is even better basketball by this team as a whole. But I do think in so many ways, not having Nikola Jokić do everything is also very beneficial to this team because it's forcing guys like Westbrook and forcing guys like Jamal and Aaron Gordon and CB to step up to the plate. Westbrook looks revived. He absolutely does. And, you know, I hate seeing players get injured, but I think Westbrook just loves to play basketball. We know this. I mean, he shows you that every time he's on the floor. He loves to play this game. So when you take that away, I think you have a little bit of, you miss it. And he was back tonight and he absolutely made an impact. The moment he was back on the court, he was making an impact. In just 9 minutes, he scored 16 points. If that's not making an impact quickly, I don't know what is. But that's what Russell Westbrook brings, right? He brings that level of the pace, the energy, the excitement, the competitive nature. He brings all of that. And so when you get him back, you know that that's what you're going to get. You also know you're going to get some turnovers. Here's where you can find our Guerrilla Sports merch. Like I said, get Russ a ring. I am doing a giveaway tonight on this live show. One of you will get a Get Russ a Ring shirt. We'll send it to you. And all you have to do is go to my page, find the tweet where I said giveaway alert, retweet that, follow Guerrilla Sports on X, follow Guerrilla Sports Off Court on X, and then hop back in this live and drop giveaway in the chat to let me know that you did all the steps. Don't be a liar because we will figure out if you're lying. And then we will pick a giveaway winner by the end of the show and send you guys a Get Russ a Ring t-shirt. Yes, we will do that. Okay, let's get to some of these comments really quick. We will have some post-game presser stuff. We're going to be tossing straight to Ball Arena and hearing from Coach as well as hearing from some of the players. So just sit tight and wait for that. Oh, here we go. Got some giveaway stuff. Shout out Tyler. Shout out Ari, I don't want to say that wrong. I'm so sorry. G Money, thank you guys for being here. So appreciate you. Make sure you just retweet that tweet, give those accounts a follow. All of the details that you need to follow are in that tweet. So find that tweet, retweet it, follow the instructions, and then pop back over here and let me know that you did it. Okay, let's see what we've got in the comment section. I'm reading all of your guys' comments really quick and also getting some insight from our team that is live over at Ball Arena right now, getting us that post-game presser footage. So we'll be able to toss to that. Nuggets versus Thunder. Nuggets in 7. You think so, High Wisdom? I don't want to jinx anything, of course. Definitely don't want to do that. But if the Nuggets can play tonight, if they can play on Thursday the way that they played tonight, I do feel pretty confident in this team, of course. We know that this team had a very interesting year. There's been a lot of weird dynamics, and what I felt like went wrong in Game 3 was just a whole lot of selfish basketball, and they weren't playing like a team. And tonight you got to see that. And it does make you wonder, is there an element of when did Westbrook get injured? Was it right before Game 3? Or was it right before Game 4? Chat, let me know. I don't quite remember which game I guess I can look it up. I can look up his stats and see when he was playing and when he wasn't. I don't know why I can't remember which game. Hold on. Give me a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it was game... What? Chat, what was it? Someone said Game 2. Someone else said Game 4. It was in warm-ups of Game 3. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was right before Game 3. Okay. Yes. So you look at game 3 and what a disaster that was. And it does make you wonder, was it game 3, you guys? I think it was. Anyway, in so many ways, Russell Westbrook was an X factor tonight. That is very clear. And again, I always try to get people to remember that with a guy like Russell Westbrook, you got to take the bad with the good, right? There's a lot of good that he has brought to Denver. Doesn't make him a perfect player, but you have to take the bad with the good. And some of those turnovers, of course, in a playoff position can be very, very costly, but you can always expect Russell Westbrook to bring that energy, to play that defense. I remember very vividly in game 1, those offensive rebounds that we were getting were coming from Russell Westbrook. He was fighting like hell for rebounds that I felt like Michael Porter Jr. could have easily grabbed, or Jokić or whoever, and Russell Westbrook was right there making a difference. So, can we pop up Corey Simmons' comment really quick? Yeah, let's pop that one up. I actually disagree, Corey, and normally I wouldn't. Normally I would say, based on what we saw from him in the regular season and what a difference he made in starting for this team, I think there's an element of you don't want to give Russ too much, right? Because I do think at times he can get a little carried away, and that's just his style of game. I think he absolutely is a beast, and I love watching him play, but I think he's better suited with that second unit. I really, really do. I really think that you kind of use Russell Westbrook strategically when you feel like there's that lull in momentum, because that's where he really strikes and that's where he really brings the energy. So I think you preserve him, not because I don't think his body can handle playing full minutes. That's not what I mean. But preserve him in the sense that he's kind of that secret weapon that you keep on the back burner, right? Because there is this very weird narrative that Russell Westbrook is, in the playoffs, worthless and makes mistakes. That's all I've seen in my DMs and in my mentions. But you save him a little bit, you keep him with that second unit, and then you kind of use him to strike when the other team's vulnerable. That's kind of where I feel like he's best suited. So I personally, normally, Corey, I would agree with you there and say that Russell Westbrook should be a starter. But I really think that you utilize him in a strategic way. And the strategy to me that feels the most realistic and beneficial is having him come off the bench in that second unit. Again, I think that's also very indicative of who Russell Westbrook is as a player and just a human being, that he plays such selfless basketball and doesn't mind running that second unit as a 17-year vet. That wasn't what he was brought to Denver to do, was to be a starter. So I think that the more you can use him in a strategic way and kind of preserve him for those big moments where the momentum starts to die down and you need that pace to be increased and you need a little energy in this team, I think that that's when you utilize Russell Westbrook. So, okay, let me see some of these other comments here. Let's get Greg's comment. I have to say, this more vocal Jokić is great and a lot better for this team. Listen, I have said time and time again, one of the many things, and I say many things because there's a lot of things that makes Nikola Jokić so special. He's a unicorn. You watch his style of play, his pure skill, and that's enough just watching him play basketball. But I think what really elevates Nikola Jokić and makes him truly different than any other player in this league is his basketball IQ, his ability to be thinking 10 steps ahead, his ability to read a defensive play by the other team before they've even figured out how to do it, figured out how to execute it. And he already knows what they're about to do, what they're about to execute. So Nikola Jokić, to me, having a voice and being able to kind of play coach a little bit, I think is really great. One, because I'm just going to speak on a human level here. When I grew up and I was dancing competitively and I was a part of dance teams, there is just everything sounds a little better coming from someone that can do it themselves. I'm not saying that these coaches should be able to do what Nikola Jokić does, and or the coaches should be draining threes in order for their team to respect them, or slam dunking it, or defending the best superstars in the league. That's not what I'm implying. But what I am saying is I do think you hear Jokić say jump. the automatic response is how high, because you already know he's not telling you to do something that he isn't going to do himself, or that he hasn't already done. And I just think leading by example goes a long way. And if there's any example that you should listen to in this league, if you are a player looking for a mentor, it's Nikola Jokić. So I do think seeing him in this coaching role is highly beneficial for this team. And I think that in the same way that they probably listen to Nikola Jokić and respect what he says and what he has to say, he also probably listens and respects what they have to say as well. It's very mutual. And we heard these athletes talk right away with Adelman running things and Coach Malone gone, that their voices felt heard. That's a very large statement for players to make as soon as their coach is fired, that we finally feel heard. There was very clearly a disconnect between coach and athlete. And you're not going to be a successful team if you have that. So I'm sure there were many moments where Nikola Jokić was trying to bridge that gap between Coach Malone and the rest of the team, but now he doesn't have to, right? I think Adelman is listening to these guys as much as Nikola Jokić is, and they really are operating like a team. And you're watching that in their basketball as well. So it really is all connected, and it truly, it's good stuff. You just want to continue to see them do what they're doing. Even like I said at the top of the show, driving to the studio tonight, I'm refreshing the score as much as I can. I was being safe, don't worry. But refreshing the score, and I'm like, okay, just like that, it's a 10-point game. It's a 10-point game. We were just up by 20-something. It's a 10-point game. Like, we know that this Nuggets team has a habit of really high highs, really low lows, and then they just kind of sometimes float in the middle, and you're not sure what to think or how to feel about them. But if you keep getting this basketball out of them, you're going to be in a great spot. You saw some really great stuff from Christian Braun tonight. He is a lot like Russell Westbrook to me in terms of the energy that they bring. And I think that's really good for this Nuggets team. They've had a long season, mentally, emotionally. They've all gone through stuff in their personal lives. They've been injured. Lose your coach, lose your GM, changes everywhere. I mean, they've gone through a lot. So it's very, very exciting to see some of that chemistry still being developed, and also being like translating into wins. That's what we're seeing out of this team right now. David said the Nuggets will end Clippers in 6 as Liv predicted. I did predict Nuggets in 6. I did do that. But listen, it's far from over with this Clippers team. You know they're going to make adjustments. You know they're going to tidy some things up. And when they go back home, they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out. You know that, I know that, and the Nuggets know that. So the Nuggets have to be triple prepared, and the Nuggets have to deliver across the board. The supporting cast has to show up for Nikola Jokić. Nikola Jokić cannot do it all himself. And that's what we've been seeing out of this series, because Nikola Jokić, again, relatively speaking, Nikola Jokić hasn't needed to be everywhere and doing everything. But you really want to see, and I do think the difference maker, I hate to say it, but in game 6, if you get nothing from Michael Porter Jr., you will not win that game. You won't. You will not win that game if you get nothing out of Michael Porter Jr. So the hope and the prayer is that he's resting his body and he feels good enough to go in game 6, and that you get out of him some of that offensive production. If not that, you just make plays. You get the 15 rebounds. You're making big defensive stops. That's what you hope from him. Just make plays. So if you're not getting Michael Porter Jr. making plays, I think game 6 is going to be really tough to win. So I think Michael Porter Jr. is the X factor. I truly believe deep in my bones that if Michael Porter Jr. shows up big in game 6, making plays, the Nuggets will be fine and they will win this series on the road. That's how I feel. But it truly, to me, like, even if you've got Jokić going off, AG going off, CB, Russell Westbrook, Jamal Murray, everybody, Michael Porter Jr. to me is what really sets that Nuggets team over the edge and makes me feel comfortable and confident in what they're able to do in game 6. Tyler says, I can't put that pressure on him with the injury he has. I know. But that to me is the value that he brings, or he's capable of bringing. So it is hard because I don't think he's in full strength right now, in full health. I think he is battling that shoulder thing pretty good. I saw him fall early in the game. He fell on his shoulder and it looked like it kind of bugged him a little bit. So yeah, you can't really put a ton of pressure on him considering that he's injured, but he to me is the difference maker. That's what's hard. Angel says, if we win this series, I'm almost certain we could win the OKC series. Angel, I love you for that. For a few reasons. One, I agree. Two, I'm a hater. Let me just start by saying that so that people don't get their panties in a wad. I'm a hater. I don't get the OKC appeal. I don't get the OKC appeal for, I think, the same reason that people maybe don't like Taylor Swift. Let me explain. Before you guys get into it, just let me explain, okay? I think there's people out there that don't even really give Taylor Swift a shot because of her following. That cult following drives people insane. The obsession with Taylor Swift is insanity. People are like, ugh. I love Taylor Swift. I went to one of her concerts. I'm not a Swiftie, but I do like her music and respect what she does. But I think the cult following of Taylor Swift is why a lot of people just aren't even willing to give her a chance. The weird, like the fan energy that people give off when it comes to OKC, and we have yet to really see this OKC team do anything in the playoffs. Like, I don't understand why we're so obsessed. Like, I don't get it. I know that they're talented. I've watched them play many times this season. I completely get it. But we talk about SGA and this OKC team like they've been there, done that, and they haven't. So I don't know. I that just drives me insane. Like that, I don't know. So yes, I'm a hater. Like call it what it is. I'm not going to deny it. Also, I just realized I literally wore the chair as a shirt. I'm a floating head. Okay. That was super random and totally unrelated. Let me get back on track here. I don't know. We talk about OKC like they are like God sent, and they have like this long pedigree of like all these accomplishments. And I'm not sure if we watched the same playoffs last year, but they were quite a disappointment actually. So like I don't know. I think that's what it is. Like I see all the people like on social media just like obsessed with OKC, and it's like, God. And then I think it gets to their head because they kind of have that swag about them, and like their post-game interviews are annoying. Like, I don't know. I'm a hater. What can I say? I don't really, sometimes we're just haters and we don't really know how to explain it. Like, I know SGA is great. I know he's going to win MVP. I know OKC was the number one team in the Western Conference all season long. I know they're talented. I'm not denying them of that. I'm just saying I don't get the fandom, especially from the people that aren't OKC fans. Like, if you're not a born and raised Thunder fan, why are you obsessed with this young group? They haven't done anything yet. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. So, to be honest with you, I would love to see the Nuggets upset OKC because, one, you know, I'm always good with like a little slice of humble pie. You guys hate that word, by the way. I use the word humble and everyone's like, how dare you? You hate confidence? No. Love confidence, actually. Super, super attracted to confidence. That is not what I'm talking about. But, you know, the playoffs are they're a different beast. Okay. The Grizzlies were without Ja Morant for, what was it? The last 2 games. And so, yeah, I'm sure they're feeling extra confident right now and super excited, and as they should, and they're getting a lot of rest. But, you know, I'm not sure many people thought that the Grizzlies were going to give OKC a hard time. So you just watch what OKC did last season and then what they have done in this first round. And I don't know. I guess I'll believe it when I see it. Like the hype we build around this team makes it seem like they're like, you know, reigning champs and they've won like back to back to backs, and they haven't. I was so underwhelmed and disappointed in what they did last year in the playoffs. I don't know where the hype, like why we're still hyping it. I just don't get it, but whatever. I get it. They were dominating all regular season. I get it. But the playoffs are different. They're different. So, Tyler said, no one talks about how badly Dallas put them in their place last year. Oh, I talk about it. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. I didn't forget. I really didn't forget. The reason I didn't forget, though, is because while I was watching the finals, Mavs versus Celtics, I kept thinking in my head, the only team in the West that would have made this final series entertaining was the Nuggets. I believe that. I know they got eliminated by the Timberwolves. They lost fair and square, but I still to this day will say the Nuggets would have given us a much better finals last season than the Mavs did. But I digress. Can't go back in time. It is what it is. So if the Nuggets win on the road on Thursday, we've got ourselves a round two of the playoffs for this Denver Nuggets team. I will say still to this day, despite the win, Liv Mood's back in action. She's got to give some critiques and some feedback, although they won. Really, the turnovers weren't insane tonight. But I just would love to see less of them at the end of the day, because I do feel like the turnovers always just kind of suck the life out of the room a little bit for the Nuggets, and they kind of have to like rework stuff. And I just rather them keep on keeping on. Pretty much. I mean, the Clippers in the paint tonight were kind of insane. 62 versus the Nuggets 46. That is nuts. The Nuggets' biggest lead in this one was 22 points, the same way it was last game, although they almost blew it last game, so that was a little terrifying. The Nuggets significantly better from the free throw line. Those were two things I wanted to see them do better. Was it after game? I think it was game 3. Game 3, turnovers and free throws were pretty tough. Pretty tough in that one. So you want to see more. I wanted to see more of that being tidied up, and I do think we've got that. 3-pointers tonight for the Nuggets, 52% compared to the Clippers, 38%. That's huge, because the Clippers, we know Norman Powell all season long was in his prime playing the Denver Nuggets. And then from the field, the Nuggets, 56%. Rebounds were evenly matched. Offensive rebounds, they had less than the Clippers. You'd like to see more of those. But overall, you really can't be mad about this game at all. You got to see exactly what you needed to see out of this Nuggets team to restore that faith in them. And I know that they won the last game as well. So it's not like I lost faith, but I really felt like game 5 was kind of mandatory in a way, in terms of getting the momentum in their favor and trying to get a dub. Let me check in with our producers really quick. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to multitask for the life of me. Oh my gosh. I actually get made fun of all the time for this. All the time. When I'm on my phone, I cannot focus on another thing. I fear the Timberwolves more than OKC. Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to guys, do we think the Timberwolves are going to wrap things up soon? Say yes. Say yes so I can start putting tweets in the drafts, please. Please. I'm ready to go. Joker will be much more aggressive next game. They got contributions from a lot of different places, so they didn't need him to be Superman tonight. Exactly. I said that a little bit earlier, where I said it was kind of refreshing that you didn't have to see everything from Nikola Jokić. But at the same time, you want to see that from him, because I do think you'll feel more confident if you're getting out of Nikola Jokić what you know you can get out of Nikola Jokić. So you want to see it, but you also don't, because when you don't see it, that means that other people are showing up, and we've been wanting that all season long. What does that mean? Hate. Oh my God, you guys. Sorry, I just heard a noise out back, and that actually scared the crap out of me. Thomas and Alex, you might have to get in here soon. Joking. I'm not going to panic, but I do hear a very loud truck or something. I don't know if it's okay. I have 2 gentlemen in here, so everything's fine. Hate the buddy trying so hard to exude that. What does that mean exactly? Or are you talking about OKC? Yeah, the interviews that they do really are a little cringe and a bit odd to me. But again, I've already admitted I'm just a hater. I know this. So I'm acknowledging that. Sorry, guys, my heart just like sank. I heard like a very creepy noise outside. Oh my gosh, my heart's flying out of my chest. Lord have mercy. I might have a heart attack on live. Wow, wouldn't that be something? We have a clip from Coach Adelman that is coming in just a moment. I just got word on that, so just hang tight on that one. Trying trying to read some of these comments. Reminder, giveaway, get Russ a ring t-shirt. I am giving one away tonight as long as you go to my X account and you find the giveaway tweet, you retweet that, you follow both accounts that I mentioned in that tweet, and then you come back over here and you say giveaway in the chat. Shout out to this user. I'm not even going to try on that name because I do not want to embarrass myself, but shout out to you for entering the giveaway. Okay. So you guys are saying that you think the Lakers are or the Wolves are going to clean things up soon. I really hope you're right. I really, really do. I really do. I need Lakers fans to just be shut up for good. And that would be wonderful. And I just think Anthony Edwards is him. I talked about it on the show today. We put out a post on socials today about Anthony Edwards. He just really is him. There's no other way to put it. He, in my opinion, is the face of the NBA. Deal with it. I get it. He's polarizing. People don't like that he talks trash, but guess what? We've gotten a little soft these days anyway, in this day and age, honestly. Who cares about a little trash talk, for goodness sakes? If you can back it up, I don't care what kind of trash you talk. I just want to see you back it up. And Anthony Edwards absolutely does that. Tyler says Wolves in 5 unless the Lakers get the Knicks refs. Oh gosh, I was really happy to see the Pistons come out on top today to kind of keep that series alive, because I did feel pretty bummed for them yesterday. Was it not yesterday? The day before yesterday, with that missed foul call. Ooh-wee! That's a bad mistake. You cannot do that. That is bad. Bad. Okay. Of course, Liv Moods on X yet again, flaming all the Russ haters. You know I will, and I have no problem doing it. In fact, I love doing it. So there's that. Do we have, I don't think we have the clip in yet. Let me see. Okay. Oh, it is in. Yes. Okay. I'm going to have Thomas, my producer. Everyone say hi to Thomas in the chat. He's here with me late night. He's the best. We are going to play a little clip from Coach Adelman, hearing from him after Game 5, his thoughts on everything. And it's kind of comparing the Nuggets season to Disney movies, ? Let's check it out. Here's a minute from Coach Adelman, and then we'll reconvene afterwards and hopefully hear from some players in a little bit as well. Let's check it out.
Not every season is supposed to be this pretty, I don't know, Disney movie or something, man. Like, this is the NBA. We had ups and downs. We had injuries. We had guys in and out. Things got negative for a while when things aren't going your way, and especially when you lose games late in the season that you know are important. So for us to bounce back, find a way to get the 4 seed, like I've been saying, I feel like this story is really trying to be written in a negative way. So keep trying. Like, I get it. It's part of the deal. And I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this series, but I've seen guys be very impactful mentally with each other. Tonight was another great example. They'd cut it to 10. They cut it to 8, 6. It seems like we always had a response. And it wasn't just Jamal's special night. It was different people making big plays. CB's 3 at the end of the quarter was enormous. It sent the place off. And the momentum was going our way, but that really put us, at a place where it was like, all right, and we rotated those other guys in, and they were so impactful, guys off the bench. So a lot of people are the reason why we won this game. Jamal will be the star tonight, but that was a great playoff team win.
Amazing team win. And that's what I kept emphasizing at the top of this show, that we're seeing this team play like a team. You don't need Nikola Jokić to do everything. Hello from Serbia, we see here. Okay, you got to get in the chat and let us know. I would imagine Serbia loves Nikola Jokić as much as Denver does. It just, I can't imagine it any other way. But how stinking exciting is it for you to be able to watch Nikola Jokić do what he does? I mean, he's exceptional, and I really can't. He's just one of those players you can't really describe. Like, I don't think his stats even truly describe how amazing he is and unique and talented and just one of a kind that he is. He's just insanely talented. And I think right now we're seeing his talents work in a different way. Nikola Jokić, 13 points tonight. Yes, he had a triple-double. And I'm not saying that to downplay it. Triple-doubles are wildly impressive, and he's still doing exceptional things and making big plays, but you're also seeing the talents of Nikola Jokic's basketball IQ and him kind of stepping into that coaching role and bringing this team together, despite what Coach Adelman said, or exactly what Coach Adelman said, which was this season was not a Disney Channel movie. You know, it was not a Disney movie. It wasn't all butterflies and rainbows. There was a lot of things that went wrong. There were a lot of hardships this year that I think a lot of people wanted to ignore. You know, it was easy to dog on the Denver Nuggets when they were losing to the Washington Wizards. Don't worry. I was dogging on them because I was pretty upset by that. But to the people that have constantly watched this team, we've also watched them push through a lot of BS that they've had to deal through, and they've done an exceptional job. And they're giving us a cinematic must-watch playoff series against the Los Angeles Clippers, the hottest team in the NBA right now. So a lot of good is coming out of this season, despite how it felt for a lot of the season. But you're seeing Nikola Jokic's, yes, only 13 points. I say only because that is not very many points for Nikola Jokic. That is bottom of the barrel for Nikola Jokic. But you're seeing his talents work in other ways. And like one of the comments said earlier, watching him be more vocal and kind of step into that coaching role is huge for this Nuggets team. And we're watching it transform what this Nuggets team is able to do, which is play that team basketball. We don't see that all the time. So to see that now when it matters most is awesome. And you really love to see it. And honestly, I don't even feel like we got a ton of that last year in the playoffs. I think that was part of their problem. You know, part of their problem was they weren't playing like a team. It was Jokic. Jokic was the guy. You know, he was carrying this team through the playoffs and through most of the regular season. And we're starting to see it now look a little different, which is awesome and very refreshing. From Serbia, I love Nuggets, not just Nikola. Team is my fave in the last few years. Here in Serbia, every team sport, it's teams first, individual second. So for me, it's Nuggets team first, Nikola second. Okay, I love that. I love that. Yeah, no, honestly, this Nuggets team is fun. I will never forget all of the freaking weirdos out there. By the way, weirdo is like my word I use so that I'm not being like too offensive. But yeah, like if I ever call you a weirdo, it's not a good thing. But the weirdos out there that were like, the Nuggets are the most boring team to watch. Really? Because this series that we're getting right now in one of their worst seasons since they won a championship, pretty entertaining if you ask me. I'll never forget that. When the Nuggets won their championship, everyone's like, that was the most boring season. That was the most boring series. That was the most boring finals. Why? Because it was good basketball. I don't know what was so boring about it. I'm certainly not bored. I don't know if you guys are bored, but this series to me is one of the most entertaining. I'm not bored at all. I'm loving what we're seeing. CB making timely clutch threes. Russell Westbrook proving haters wrong. Jamal Murray with a 40-piece on your head and in your face. Aaron Gordon dunking the ball like it's his job. I mean, Kawhi Leonard lighting it up. James Harden, what are you bored? How are you bored? You're weird. Weirdo alert. Anyway, MPJ is key. Yes. I just was talking about this in terms of game 6. And it's tough because one of the comments when I talked about MPJ being key, one of the comments kind of arguing back was like, I don't feel like putting pressure on him in this spot, given his injury, is very fair. It might not be fair, but life's not fair. No, just kidding. That was brutal. No, I'm joking. But at the end of the day, it really is, in my opinion, going to come down to MPJ. It is. He is going to be the difference maker. If he shows up, if he's making big plays, and I'm not saying he has to be lining it up from the 3-point line, he has to have a 30-piece. That's not what I'm saying. He just has to make plays. If Michael Porter Jr. is making plays in game 6, I feel confident they will win. To me, he's the X factor. You likely know what you're going to get from Christian Brown. You know what you're going to get from Jokic. You know what you're going to get from Aaron Gordon. You kind of know what you're going to get from Jamal. You don't know if it's going to be a 40-piece or 20 or whatever, but you know he's going to be there and be present. Michael Porter Jr. is really that one piece that you're like, what are we going to get from him? If you get the positive, I think you're in a really good spot for a win in game 6. So it is tough to put pressure on a guy that's injured and clearly injured. You know, it's bothering him, and he fell on it in this game, and I think it's bothering him even more now. So it is tough to put that pressure on him. However, he is that valuable. When he's on, it feels like the Nuggets are kind of unstoppable, and when he's not, they're a very beatable team. So You really want to see Michael Porter Jr. showing up big in game 6 for this Nuggets team. Okay, let's check in and see what kind of players we're going to hear from. Sorry, I'm asking if we can. Excuse me, Liv. Can you talk? Thanks. I'm asking if we can get Russell Westbrook in the stream so that we can hear from him. I want to play whatever he's got to say. I want to hear all of it. All of it. Because we're doing a Russ giveaway. That's why. If you guys didn't know, another reminder, Russell Westbrook t-shirts here at Guerrilla Sports. We have a plethora of Guerrilla Sports merch on our website, so you can head and check that out. But tonight on this show, if you go to my X account and you retweet the tweet for the giveaway, it will give you the instructions. Once you follow all of those instructions, and don't lie, we will check and make sure you followed them. Once you follow the instructions, I'll then have you come back to this stream and drop giveaway in the chat so that we can give you, potentially, you'll be in contention for a Get Russ a Ring t-shirt. Yes, we are giving it away for free. I will send it to you and we can be twins because I'll wear one and we'll find time to wear one together. Here's the link. That's where all of our merch is. So you can check out what the Get Russ a Ring t-shirt looks like. We're giving one away on this show. So like I said, head to my X account, follow the instructions in that giveaway tweet, and then come back over here and let me know in the comment sections that you followed all the instructions and you are in contention for the giveaway by dropping the word giveaway in the chat. Wow, what a mouthful. Shut up, Olivia. They're bored. You guys are never bored. Forget about it. Don't even go there. High Wisdom says, I'm telling y'all, MPJ about to go off. I hope you're right. I call 18 to 22 points next game, calling it. See, I think we have different versions of going off. Going off for me is like 40. Are my expectations too high? Maybe that's why I'm hard to please. Okay, well, I would love it though. 18, 22, I'm good with that. To me, that's what I want from MPJ every night. And then the one-off is like 35. But I'll take 18 to 22. Yep, I will. Beggars can't be choosers. I'll take it. Liv, don't be rude. Don't be hasty. I'll take it. We will take 18 to 22. I hope you are right. Greg says this is the only good competitive one. Yes, it is. This series is electric. But let the haters tell you, the Nuggets are boring. I'm sorry. Takes one to know one. Spoken like a true boring person. I'm just saying. I mean, for God's sake. Okay. I think we should be getting some players in stream soon. Oh, yes. Here pretty soon. We are going to hear from Russell Westbrook. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's downloading, so it'll be in soon. And it's about 4 minutes of beauty. Woo! Russell Westbrook will be in. We will be hearing from him. He just finished chatting over at Ball Arena, so you're going to get a first look at what he's got to say. And hopefully he's all smiles. I'm sure he will be. Again, I'm sure he's mostly happy because he's back playing the game that he loves, and also happy that the Nuggets got a dub, and then also happy because he made a huge impact in this game and silenced the trolls, mostly because the trolls are scared. They haven't crawled out of their holes yet. They're petrified, as they should be. Okay. Let's see. We'll get to a couple more comments, and then we'll check in on that Westbrook footage. Boring is the 76ers games because they blow whistle way too much. Yeah, Greg. I actually had a prediction at the beginning of the season that the 76ers would not make the playoffs. I was correct on that. Also, don't shoot the messenger, but Doc Rivers, I think it's time to call it quits. I'm just saying. Don't shoot the messenger, though. I'm just saying. I don't know if I can handle another Doc Rivers playoff run. I really don't. It's exhausting to me. And I want that for him. I want him to see success in that way, but I just don't know if it's possible at this point. I've lost hope. All hope has been lost. I want Murray for 30 every night, but beggars can't be choosers. It's true. It's true. But yes, that's kind of what you expect out of these guys, right? And I talked on, what was it? A post-game show where I said that expect what? I don't know. What? Yeah, I talked on one of my post-game shows. I'm not sure which game it was after, but I talked about the fact that, you hold the players that make more money to a higher standard. Simple. Sorry. If that bothers you, then this might not be the show for you because that's kind of how life works, right? If I get a big promotion and I'm making more money than Joe Schmo over there grabbing coffee as an intern, I think my expectations in my day-to-day job are a little bit higher. Sorry, is that fair? Feels fair. So yeah, it's like you don't want to be a Debbie Downer all the time, but at the same time, you expect 18 to 22 out of Michael Porter Jr. every night. Now, when he's injured, okay, we'll give him a little bit of grace. But, all I'm saying is what we have a really hard time doing here in Denver, and I'm just going to call it like it is. Sue me. Or don't. But if you want to, go ahead, try. Sue me for this one, but I feel like we have an accountability issue here in Denver where we sometimes hold the wrong players accountable. We're quick to get online or sit in front of a microphone and drag Russell Westbrook or a young P. Watt or a Julian Strother or whatever for what they're doing wrong, which is fine. Be critical, These are grown men. They can handle it. They know that this is a part of the business. People are going to talk about what they do. Okay. Be critical. Fine. But hold everybody to that same standard. And in fact, you should probably hold your highest paid players and your max contract guys and your veterans to a different standard because you expect more out of them. That's just how I see it. So it is tough with a situation like Michael Porter Jr. because you got more out of him, and I'm so thrilled. And he is pushing through an injury right now, and I'm so thankful for that. But in big moments, you do expect it to be a Michael Porter Jr., a Jamal Murray, an Aaron Gordon, a Nikola Jokic. You don't expect it to be a Christian Brown or a Russell Westbrook because that's not what you brought Russell Westbrook here to do. And also Christian Brown, he was a starter starting this year. He's a young guy. So you expect it more out of those older guys, out of those veterans, out of those high paid players. And so when you don't get that from them, naturally, you're going to feel disappointed. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's what we do on this show. We just keep it 100. If we don't like the 100 keeping it being kept, geez, wow. Grammar at times can be difficult. Just know that. I'm doing my best here. But yeah, we keep it 100 on this show because at the end of the day, what got you the max contract in the first place? Not every player gets a max contract. You got that because you earned it. So now the expectation is that whatever you did to get it, you maintain that. You definitely don't dip below it. You either maintain it or you go above it. So this is the difference between, good basketball teams and great basketball teams. You are going to be banged up. At this stage of the playoffs, a lot of guys are going to be banged up. Michael Porter Jr. found a way tonight to fight through it. That's what you want to see from him in Game 6 as well. You want to see Michael Porter Jr. fight through it. And if he's not available, he's not available. Listen to your body as well. I'm not telling him to play through something he can't play through. That's not what I'm implying. But if he is available, the expectation is that he's pushing through it because he can. Honestly, poor Michael Porter Jr., he's been injured a lot. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. His body has been through it. So, you want to see him make big plays and come up big for this Nuggets team in Game 6. If he's capable of doing that, I feel pretty stinking confident in what this Nuggets team can do in Game 6. And I feel pretty confident they're winning this series. So that's what you hope for. Thomas, we may have that clip ready now. I just got a text. We can check and see. Woo! Yes! Woo! Russell Westbrook, live from the post-game presser, Ball Arena. We are just getting the footage. He just got done talking. So let's hear what the man, Russell Westbrook, 21-point performance, had to say about being back on the court with the Denver Nuggets and also the big win for the Denver Nuggets in Game 5. Let's check it out.
Be back out there, get on the floor for Game 5, and just continue to put your imprint on the game.
Just grateful, a lot of gratitude, a lot of I don't take the game for granted by any means, and just excited and obviously grateful to be able to get back on the floor.
With how tough this Clippers defense has been this season, you guys were able to get in a great flow tonight. What do you kind of attribute how well the offense was tonight?
Just spacing, better pace. I thought we did a good job of setting the tone with our defense, setting the tone with our spacing, our space. They do a lot of different things defensively, change up their coverages, cross match, and a lot of different things. So I thought we did a good job of staying focused, running our stuff, and doing a good job of executing as well.
Russ, it felt like once you hit that first mid-range shot, you were in a pretty good rhythm offensively. Can you just speak about how important rhythm is, particularly for your game, and once you kind of see one go through and feel it, and how you can kind of get going from there?
Yeah, I mean, basketball is a rhythm game, and for me, yes, scoring is a part, but just energy, effort. That's how I'm able to get my rhythm and be able to be active, be aggressive, and make sure that I focus on what I need to focus on and find ways to better help my team on both ends.
Russ, it seems like with Jamal, the harder it gets, the better he gets. What do you see when you're out there when he's having a game like this tonight?
Just Jamal being aggressive, man. When he's aggressive, we're a different team. And when he's playing with that swagger and going out and competing at the level that he did tonight, we're a tough team to beat.
Russ, after all these years of playing on this stage and having playoff experience, how much pride do you still take in giving team energy aside from things that just pop up in the box score?
Yeah, it's important, man. I think that's a huge part of the game that, the average eye may not see or the box score may not shows. But I think it's important that it's contagious and it's something that can will your team to victory. And I think it's something that I take pride in and being prepared to be able to bring that for my team every night.
And again, after all these years, how much fun is this still for you a night like this? And how much fun were you having with the Clippers bench?
Yeah, I have. You know what, man? I'm like I said, I have so much gratitude and so much respect for the game and so much respect for, being able to go out and compete. I have my biggest, I always tell myself before every night to have fun. And my fun may look a little different than everybody else's. It may not be with a smile. It may not be running around, slapping hands. But when I'm intense and I'm competing at the highest level, I'm having the best time. And that to me is the best part of the game. And even year 17, I still have so much fun going out and competing. And I'm a competitor and one of the best competitors in the world. And I live for moments and live to talk a little mess and competing along with it.
Russ, I know it takes a lot for you to miss any game, let alone a playoff game. What happened in the game where you hurt your foot, and then what did it take for you to get back to play tonight?
I don't even know what happened, actually, to be honest. It was random, but just treatment, locking in on what I need to lock in on, and simultaneously staying in the gym, making sure I'm keeping the rhythm, being ready to come back in full go to playoffs. You don't have much time to ease your way into any game, and I've been able to do that, be a professional, be there for my team, and be a voice, lead even when I'm not playing. But like I said before, I have so much gratitude. I'm grateful to be able to do that and be there for my team and get prepared for the next night. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, my wife.
And he looks swaggy too. How about that? How about them apples? I've never understood the Russ haters. They are so weird to me. I don't know how you. I am willing to overlook mistakes or mistakes or just bad nights or whatever. I'm even willing to overlook an air ball from time to time if it's a player that's constantly showing up and giving energy and giving full effort 100% of the time. And that's what Russ does. That's what Russ brings. That's why he's here in Denver. That's what the Denver Nuggets were missing for forever. We could not get this team to play like they wanted it. If I asked you to name one player right now in the league that constantly plays like they want it, it's Russell Westbrook. It's exactly why he's here in Denver, because of the impact he makes in that way. There should have never, ever been any person as a part of Nuggets Nation or otherwise that thought Russ is going to be here to drain threes and score 40 a night and never turn the ball over. Like, if that was your expectation, I don't know why you had that expectation. Russ is here for the exact reason, or the exact thing that Russ brings is the exact thing the Nuggets were missing. When you view him through that lens, you're rarely disappointed about what he's done this season. He's going to turn the ball over. He's going to airball a three. Get over it. I mean, come on now. That of course. But he brings what a lot of players can't say that they bring. Okay, you drain your threes, but do you care? I'd much rather have a player that cares. That comment right there, Russ has heart. That's 100% it. He loves this game, and he plays with heart every single night. And then you play alongside Nikola Jokić. And I did say it. The video I keep resurfacing to all the haters. Nikola Jokić elevates every player around him. You're going to get a different version of Russell Westbrook here in Denver than you got in Los Angeles. And what do you know it? What do you effing know it? That's exactly what you're getting. Wow. Liv knows ball. Forget about it. But no, really, it's not that I know ball necessarily. It's just that I know the type of player Russell Westbrook is, and I know what the Denver Nuggets needed super bad when they brought him here. He was a missing puzzle piece. He may not have been the final piece, but he is one of them that is helping elevate this Nuggets team in the ways that they were weak. He's making them stronger in the ways that they were weak. The energy, the pace, the competitive nature, the competitive drive. Come on. Like, if your expectation was that Russell Westbrook was never turning the ball over and draining threes all night long, I'm not sure why you ever thought that. I don't think his contract even reflects that. So I'm not sure why you thought that that was going to happen. So he's wonderful. And Russ is the type of player that's just going to bring the energy constantly. And sometimes that energy does look like chaos. And sometimes the chaos does result in turnovers and missed layups. Oopsie. It is what it is. Deal, deal with it. So really quickly, we're going to just hang tight for just a little bit longer. Here we go. Let me read a message really fast. Last reminder, get Russ a ring t-shirt. We are doing a giveaway. Go to my X account, retweet the giveaway tweet, and also follow the 2 accounts that I tagged, and then come back in here, type in the chat giveaway, and I'm going to force Thomas, my producer for the night, to pick a winner for the giveaway. So I'm giving you 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to go follow the giveaway steps, and then come back over here and let me know that you have done what you've needed to do for the giveaway. You've got to go to my X account and find the tweet. And once you've done that, you know what? I'll make it a little bit easier. I'm going to, God forbid, I'm going to unpin the Russ video. Don't worry, I will pin it again. Have no fear. I will not get rid of that. I just pinned the giveaway tweet to the top of my X page. Go there, follow the steps, and then come back over here and drop giveaway in the comment section of this show, this live stream, so that I know that you've done all the right steps. And then I'm going to have, in 3 minutes, I'm going to have Thomas select a winner, and we will send you a Get Russ a Ring t-shirt right here from Guerrilla Sports. And you can also check out this link and check out all of the merch that we have on our website for Avs, Rockies, Nuggets, Broncos, as well as just Guerrilla Sports merch. So to go check it out, but we are going to do a giveaway tonight. So make sure you go follow the steps. I pinned it to my page. Head on over to my X account at Liv Moods right now. Follow the steps. Drop giveaway in the comment sections once you've completed the steps. And then in 2 minutes now, we will select a winner. Thomas will select a winner. So how's that? All right. Okay, I think in just a moment, we are going to have Brandon Crystalall live from Ball Arena hop on and chat with us to wrap things up here. Yes. Okay. Sorry, guys, I told you. I can't do more than one thing. It stresses me out. It's very hard for me. I apologize. So just forgive me for that. Yes, so make sure you guys I've already got some people that are retweeting the giveaway tweet and hopefully following the accounts they need to follow. We will make sure that you're doing all the right steps. So, hey. Hi, my name is CJ. Giveaway. He just dropped it in. Love it. Okay. You guys have 1 minute on the clock, and then I'm having Thomas select a winner at random. Whatever is calling to you, Thomas, whoever you see that you're like, yes, that's the one, then that's what we're going to go with. You guys we got another one. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, whatever you think, Thomas, I'm going to let you just decide, and then we will chat with BK, and then we'll get out of here. We will get out of here. Any comments at the bottom there, Thomas, of new people hopping on besides the giveaways? We do have some giveaways, though. Shout out to you guys. Huge Russ fan, my idol. Love it, love it, love it. And we will try to do more giveaways throughout this postseason, you guys. I promise. I so appreciate all almost 3,400 of you that are live watching right now. It's midnight where I'm at. I know a lot of you are on the East Coast, so it's 2 a.m. where you're at, and you are still tuning in and watching this live show with me. So I so appreciate you, and I promise you we will do more giveaways. We have so much merch. We actually added new merch to our website, Nuggets-related merch. So we'll do some giveaways for all of that. I promise you. So if you don't get selected here, I promise you can also just go purchase your own. But we will do more giveaways as well. So if you're like, hey, Liv didn't select me tonight, but I really want to rock this Russ t-shirt, go get yourself one. But we will do more giveaways for the t-shirts that we have. I promise. I want to keep rewarding you guys for being so loyal to these live streams, because I really do appreciate you guys always being here. And it's been a long season. We've done a lot of these post-game lives. They've gone very late. We've been on here chatting about a lot of different things. There's been a lot of highs in this season. There's been a lot of lows. The season is not done. We have plenty more opportunities. Hopefully, if the Nuggets can get a win in advance and make it through this series, we'll have plenty more of these post-game live shows where we can chat Nuggets and NBA and all the things. So I appreciate you guys tons. Thomas, have you randomly selected a winner? Once you have, you can just, whoever is calling to you, it doesn't matter when they did the giveaway, none of that. Pop their giveaway comment up on the screen, and we'll all give them a little congrats. Okay, Greg. Greg is our winner for tonight. Congratulations, Greg. What I'm going to need from you, Greg, is I'm going to need you to, let me look up your X account. Do you have an X account, Greg? Can you drop your X username into the comment section so I can give you a follow, and then I can send you a message, and you can let me know your size, a good address to send the shirt to, and we'll make sure that we get that your way. And then, like I said, for those of you that are like, I really wanted a t-shirt, Liv, we'll do more of these. But also, if you've got a little extra money in the pocket, go reward yourself, treat yourself, and go get yourself a little t-shirt on our website. But we'll do plenty more of these, I promise. So yes, Greg, drop your username. There we go. Okay. I'm going to give you a quick follow here, Gregory. Okay, let me just make sure I'm getting this right. Here we go. Gave you a follow, Greg. I am going to shoot you a message right now. I'm going to just say congrats. And then I'm going to have you just respond with a size for you, and then a good address we can send it to, and we will get you over a Get Russ a Ring t-shirt, and would love to see you post a selfie in it, give me a tag so we can see how it's looking. And of course, we'll do more of these giveaways like I said. Okay. G Money, that is an absolutely fantastic and brilliant idea. And you know what? I will probably personally, out of my own money, do a little bit extra for our teachers. So maybe I'll get Guerrilla Sports on board. We'll throw in some merch in there, but I will also come out of my own pocket to reward a teacher or two. My mom was a teacher, still is actually. She is entering her final year of teaching after 30-something years of teaching. Shout out to my mom. She is phenomenal at what she does, and it takes a special kind of person to be a teacher. My granddad was also a teacher as well. So I have nothing but love and respect for teachers everywhere. I had a teacher in college that made a huge difference in my life on a very personal level, and still to this day I'm in contact with her. And so yeah, I think that is a brilliant idea, G Money. For Teacher Appreciation Week, we will do something. I will come out of my own pocket for it. I don't care. Really want to make sure that teachers are taken care of. So I love, love, love that idea. And G Money, I am a high school history teacher. I love that. Congratulations and thank you for all that you do, because being a teacher is not easy. And I seriously appreciate all that you do. But that is a great idea. We will go ahead and do something for teacher appreciation. No doubt about it. Liv, is it NBA official? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Oh, the t-shirt? I don't think so. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I should know what that means. We should have BK on here in just a momento. I think he's hopping on. He just got the link, so we're going to have him on here in a minute. I think I got a message back from Gregory. Yes, I did. Gregory, thank you so much for tuning in and for doing the giveaway. We will get you that shirt. You and I can be messaging back and forth throughout the night. We'll make sure you get taken care of. And to the rest of you that are here, still tuning in, we're just waiting on Brandon Crystalall to hop on and give us his thoughts. He was at the game tonight, live from Ball Arena. He's going to hop on with us for just a little bit. I know it's late. Trust me, I am probably just as tired as you guys. So as soon as we talk to BK, we will get on out of here so I can get home. And we can all get to sleep a little bit. But we're going to chat with BK. I actually think BK might just be ready to hop on and join us. My BFF, Brandon Crystalall. Let's bring him on in live from Ball Arena. BK, what a game that was. Your perspective, your thoughts, fresh off of that dub. How are you feeling?
I think I'm excited to have seen the Nuggets' best playoff game really in a while, obviously of this series, but you probably have to go back to game 3 or 4 in Minnesota, maybe, where you saw, I guess they did win game 5 at home, but a complete team win. I know it got close in the fourth as it got, right around 10-ish. Maybe got to 9, but
BK, that was right when I was driving to the studio. So, I was trying to keep up. I'm doing a quick little refresh. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, it's a 10-point game. In true Denver Nuggets fashion, we might be sweating this out. But looked like they kind of, towards the end of the fourth quarter, got a little bit more rhythm and a little bit more groove. Who did you feel like were the X factors in this game?
Well, I don't know if it was an X factor, but just the main factor was Jamal Murray was the best player on the floor, and it wasn't close. Obviously, Joker is the best player in the world. We get that. And you'll still take a triple-double from him, even if it's just a 13, 12 assists, 10 rebound night. But I think he likes that just as much. And when we end up getting his post-game comments posted on all of our social channels and all that, I asked him, I go, hey, I imagine you like that as much as anything else. And he said, yeah, it's great. It's a great team effort. He appreciates that. He's like, some nights it's not my night, but he didn't make it sound like he was having a bad night, just that it wasn't his night to carry the team. And they're really hard to beat when Jamal Murray puts on that cape, especially in the postseason. And it's something that he's done throughout his career, plenty of times against teams from Los Angeles, including these Clippers. I believe that was one of his bigger games since 2020 in the bubble in terms of playoff games. I know he's obviously had some other big games as well, but great to see there. And I guess if you talk X factors, Christian Brown's defense on James Harden was a big X factor. Michael Porter Jr. just giving you minutes keeps their defense honest, because we know when Russ is there, 1, they put Zubats on him, and 2, they just leave him alone. So that all of a sudden turns Zubats into a rim protector. We'll put that in quotes. He's not living above the rim the way DeAndre Jordan did when he was a Clipper back in the day. I say back in the day, but a handful of years ago when he lived above the rim to protect it. Nonetheless, just having MPJ out there, him knocking down a big 3 in the second half, that's something Joker touched on, because he is fighting through this pain. He got a shot before game 3 in his left shoulder. He got a shot before game 4, but said the residual soreness the next day was a lot, so he decided to not get the shot before game 5 and is just learning, like he has with so many of his other injuries, to manage the pain. And so I think those were kind of your X factors. It was CB and what he gives you defensively, the huge 3 before they went to the break right at the end of the third quarter, and then MPJ just getting you those positive minutes. And certainly what Russ gave you in the first half, getting you 16 points, was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I was going to ask you about Michael Porter Jr. Because I do know he's pushing through some discomfort, and it looked like he actually fell on his shoulder kind of early in the game. And The commentators were even like, oh, I think that was his bad shoulder. Do you think he's good to go for game 6? Because before you hopped on and joined me, I talked about the fact that I get that he's injured and it's hard to put that pressure on him, but he does feel like if Michael Porter Jr. is making plays for this team, it feels like they're that much better suited for a win. He feels like an X factor in so many ways. Do you feel like he's going to be good to go for game 6?
I think if we've seen him battle to this point, we'll continue to see him battle. And after being in there following the injury in game 2 and seeing the discomfort in the immediate aftermath and him not even really being able to put on his underwear or pants, and I'm not really divulging any info. He was kind of saying that loudly. We could hear him, and then we kind of saw him. So it wasn't like I have some top secret info there. And I think he even said that to us, like, I can't even put my pants on right now because he was having to do it one-handed. And so he was nowhere near that. And I'm not trying to downplay what he dealt with, but he obviously fought through it. And so I think it's a credit to him. Russ, I know, had to get extra work. Russ tends to be one of the first guys out of there. He obviously had to get some maintenance stuff done, but clearly, questionable, got upgraded to probable pretty quickly, especially once you saw what he was able to do at the end of the first quarter and start of the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. BK, how important do you think this win was in terms of momentum now that this Nuggets team has to go back on the road and hopefully they clean things up? You and I talked on the show last week about the fact that OKC is going to have a pretty hefty rest advantage versus whoever they play out of this series. So do you imagine that we could see this Nuggets team kind of carry over some of that momentum and clean things up by game 6? Nuggets in 6? Is it possible, BK? Are you feeling it?
I do think it's possible because they've taken so many good shots from the Clippers and now come out 3 times victorious. I got a text from a friend that said they're like the boxer that waited too long to start punching, even tonight as well. Same thing in game 4. And so they're going to lose on points, if you will, in a boxing match. But so I'm not saying that they won't win on Thursday. The Clippers, with their backs against the wall, we know closeout games can be the hardest. Certainly look at what you saw tonight with what the Bucks gave you in Indy, and then obviously they fell apart, and certainly with the way that Knicks and Pistons went down to the wire, and the Pistons able to extend the series and now get back to Detroit. But history is certainly on the Nuggets side. I texted our Nuggets Guerrilla Sports group chat, our behind-the-scenes chat with all our crew, and saw that this number from 84, 85 on, when they went 2-2, 1-1-1, for the most part. We know there's been a lot of finals that were 2-3-2 for a good stretch for, a decade and a half or whatever. But in general, since that line of demarcation, because before that it was 2-3-2 forever in 7-game series, the teams that go into game 6 up 3-2, whether regardless of how you got there, but when you're up 3-2, you win 200 of the 237 times. I guess it's 200 wins. 37 times a team that's up 3-2 has lost. So the Nuggets certainly could be one of those teams that's lost. We know that they were down 0-3 to the Clippers. So simple math says that it was 3-2 in that one, and they erased that. So it's not a gimme, but you've got 2 chances to win one. Your back's not against the wall at home on Thursday. That's certainly the Clippers. And then you get to come home for game 7. And so there were questions to Joker and MPJ and to AG in the locker room about what did you potentially learn in Minnesota that you can carry over? And they all kind of had different answers, but MPJ's, you can't take anything for granted. And AG said something kind of similar. You've got to go out and take it from them. And Joker's like, I don't know. I guess it's experience that you can draw. He doesn't seem to spend a lot of time thinking about drawing on experience, even though that's really human nature and the way it goes in sports. But I think that they're in really good shape. The real question is now, what does the league do with the other series? I don't know how you series apostrophe because OKC is just chilling. Well, I tried to ask MPJ, how big is this to get this win Thursday so that maybe there's an extra day of rest built in game 1 of the next series doesn't start until perhaps even, Sunday, even Monday. He's like, we can't think about OKC. We've got to worry about the Clippers. And while I appreciate that, the reality of the situation is they will get, in theory, some sort of rest. Odds are if they close it out in 6, the league isn't going to thrust them into a game 1 Saturday just to make TV work, especially because they can at least get one game 1 now out of Indianapolis and Cleveland, depending on what happens in those other series. So we'll see how it plays out around them. But taking care of business Thursday is the only chance you have to have any real rest. because they will get pushed to the front of the line. And so maybe that rest ends up being a day or two. So I think it's going to be big Thursday. And if you can take that crowd out, this Clippers crowd, it isn't your dad's Clippers crowd that used to play in the Lakers building or play in the shitty LA Sports Arena forever on USC's campus. It is a new building that is rocking, and it is crazy loud, and there's fans at the end of the bench. David Adelman said it's kind of like a high school game. So if you can take them out of it, they've got their own building. It's apparently as awesome an experience as you'll have. Some people call it a top 4, top 5 experience. So if you can quiet the crowd and take them out of it, sort of the way they did on Thursday, or in Game 4 on Saturday, then you'll be in really good shape to cruise into the next round.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of things that we liked out of this Nuggets team tonight, and a lot of things that make you feel confident in what they're capable of doing in Game 6. Only time will tell. And of course, I know they're not thinking ahead into the OKC series, but I was talking about it on tonight's show because, like you, I'm trying to figure out, if you clean things up, the faster you clean things up, the more likely you are to give your body a little bit of rest. And I think this Nuggets team needs that. So, BK, any final thoughts from you before I send you on your way and let you get out of there?
No, it was good to see you win, and I actually brought a friend with me. Hang on one second.
Uh-oh. What's he got up his sleeve?
This is Chomp. Chomp is a guest from my daughter's preschool class. Chomp gets to hang out with our family for the week. And so
oh my gosh. It's like we used to do that with a raccoon. What was the raccoon's name?
I don't know.
Chester?
Maybe no idea. So you got to keep track of what Chomp's done through the week. So what's funny was I asked my daughter Scarlett. She's 4. I said, Scarlett, do you want me to bring Chomp to the Nuggets game? She goes, well, do you have a ticket for him? So I said, I think I can bring him in. I think I can bring him in with my pass. And so I was able to bring Chomp for a Nuggets win. So he's going to be with us all week. I guess the real thing is, and I'm not going to take him to LA, but if they advance, does Chomp make a return trip? Because another kid is going to get to take him home next week. We're kind of one of the last ones to do it. But it was good to have Chomp in the building. And I think it's to connect Chomp with Rocky. Rocky never really came close to us, but it was cool seeing Dabo Sweeney here. That was pretty random. I tweeted that, or I guess I'll just keep Chomp with me. I tweeted that, seeing Coach Sweeney, and I asked him because randomly in Phoenix 2 years ago on the run of the championship, he was at Game 3. John Rahm was there, but John Rahm has the tickets at the end of the Suns bench. I think it's the end of the Suns bench, end of one of the benches. Those are his tickets. John Rahm, ASU, for college, stayed in Phoenix, even though he's from Spain. And so no big deal. But so Dabo was there. Obviously didn't say anything to him. So I see him tonight. He's wearing all Nugget stuff. He's got, I think, his crew with them, some kids of his, maybe based on their age. And I said, hey, Coach, good to see you. Are you a Nuggets fan? Because I saw you at that game in Phoenix. He's like, no, that was just random. I was just out there. But, we got 2 Clemson guys here. So Dabo was there. And how about this? Cortland Sutton did that pregame free throw. The video's out there. He made it, which is something you almost never see. He was a college basketball player, so it's worth noting. And then you also, of course, had Peyton Manning. It was funny. TNT tweeted, like, oh, the sheriff came to town for the game. I was like, he just drove from his house. He's been at all the games. He lives here. Do some research. But also then you had Denver native Wyndham Clark, too, the U.S. Open champ from a couple of years ago. He was sitting courtside, too. So good crew here tonight. And hopefully, as I said to some of the folks, they heard me saying it in the hallway, some of the crew that works here, security. I said, well, hopefully I won't see you till Game 3, because that means they'll take care of business Thursday. Games 1 and 2 in OKC. And we'll call Game 3, next Thursday, Friday-ish, somewhere in that realm would be ideal.
Yeah, I agree. Well, there's a funny comment that I'll send you on your way with. It says, Chomp is good luck, kidnap Chomp. I think you need to hijack Chomp from your daughter's school and take Chomp throughout this entire playoff stretch. You're going to have to let the teacher know, sorry.
Well, she is a huge Denver sports fan. Every time I drop my daughter off or pick her up, it's, hey, what happened in the game? She's Broncos season tickets and all that. So if anybody would let me take Chomp with us, and I don't know how many kids haven't had him. I certainly could bring him, I think, Thursday to LA because I'll be back Friday, but we'll see if Chomp gets to hang out beyond that. But maybe I do take him to LA.
I think you might need to. Honestly, it worked. Chomp is the good luck charm. Well, BK, thank you so much for hopping on with me. Chomp, thank you so much for being here and helping this Nuggets team get a dub. BK, I probably won't see you in studio Thursday, but maybe
you won't. I'll be on an airplane.
Yeah, but maybe we'll get some good footage from you out there, and we'll be in touch, of course, and hopefully the Nuggets get a dub on Thursday, and you're there to witness it with Chomp in your hand.
Fingers crossed. Great stuff tonight, Liv, as always.
Thank you, BK. You have a good night.
Thanks.
All right, you guys. Love it. Oh my gosh, Chomp, how fantastic. Okay, we have a giveaway winner. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to BK. Shout out to Chomp. Shout out to the Denver Nuggets for getting it done in Game 5. They are on the road. Like BK said, Thursday night, you can anticipate Game 6 underway for this Clippers-Nuggets series. And if the Nuggets can get a dub, David said it, bring Chomp to LA. I couldn't agree more, David. If take him, BK, do it. They said in all caps. Yeah, Chomp's got to make the trip. We've got to get Chomp on the airplane straight to LA. So hopefully you guys, we will, of course, have a post-game live show following Game 6, but hopefully we get a little break from post-game live shows because like BK said, if they take care of business, we won't have to do a post game for Game 7. We will, of course, do one for Game 1 if they advance and play OKC. You can anticipate as long as the Nuggets are playing basketball in the playoffs, we will be doing these post game live shows, and we will definitely be doing more giveaways. So make sure you guys are tuning in. I just want to reward you guys for your loyalty. I appreciate you. We've got 4,100 people on right now. It is almost 12:30. It's 2:30 where some of you are at. I know that. I appreciate that. And I sincerely thank you for being here along for this ride all season long. It's been a long one. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, and it's still going. Shout out to the Nuggets. They are up in this series 3-2. This is the most entertaining series we have in the NBA playoffs this year. It's been so fun to watch this 4-5 battle, and hopefully the Nuggets clean things up on Thursday. I'm Liv Mood signing off for now. This has been another Guerrilla Sports Off Court, a post-game live reaction show presented by Trusted American Mortgage. You can head to trustedamerican.com or you can scan this QR code right here and see how they can help you save some money, getting you a better interest rate, lowering your monthly payments. Shout out to our friends over at Trusted American. I'm Liv Moods signing off for the night. Go Denver Nuggets, and we'll catch you Thursday night and Thursday during the day, 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time for a regularly scheduled off-court show. And then, of course, a post-game live, hopefully celebrating the Nuggets advancing to round 2. We'll see you then.